If you have reflector type headlight like this one with halogen bulbs, I'm pretty sure you cannot see anything at night. So right now, I'm going to show you how to fully customize and upgrade your headlights by adding this universal HID projector kit. And this is what it looks like. And while I'm doing this upgrade, I wanted to add halo lights and demonize. And I will show you everything step by step. And my goal for this video is for you to feel comfortable to do this for your car and for your truck. So let's get right to it. Alright, when you are doing your retrofit, size matters. So right now in my left hand I've got D2S 5.0 and on my right hand I've got Mini H1 7.0, and this one has 3-inch lens housing and this one has 2.5-inch lens housing. So you have to make sure which size you need for your car or for your truck and then go from there. And now I'm going to show you how bi-xenon projector works. So you can actually take the lens housing off right here. So this is actually held on by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 T10 Torx screws, and once you take them off, you can take your lens housing apart like that. And I'm going to show you how bi-xenon works. So this projector right here uses single bulb, which is D2S, and I'm going to actually fit it right now. Just like that. And this kit always comes with this lock ring for the bulb, and you just tighten that. Just gotta match the thread. Okay. Once you lock that, the bulb stays in place. So it uses that single HID bulb as low beam and high beam. So right now, this will be low beam when you turn this on, and then once you activate high beam, this solenoid will pull the shield right there and activates high beam. And in order to do so, this solenoid has to be connected in the back, as you can see right here. And this is the pigtail or the wiring that comes with the kit. And you just have to plug in this 2-pin right here on the back. This is the high beam splitter that you need to connect your solenoid for the high beam effect. So what you need to do is take the original high beam wiring and then put it into this end to split it. So you have to make sure what size you need. And this one is 9006 male. And my OEM wiring is 9006 female, as you can see, just like this one. So I will get the OEM high beam wiring, put it here, split it, and then one goes to OEM high beam again. And then one splits into the solenoid. And before you use the socket and the pins, so a lot of times the customer would just put it into the socket before testing it out, and you have to match the color. So you have to make sure which wire goes to which wire color. We've got white and brown, we've got blue and black. Figure out which wire works and then put it into the socket, because it only goes one way, as you can see. And if you mess it up, it's really annoying to take it out from the socket again and repin it. So make sure of that and you are good to go. And before I show you the beam pattern on the wall, I'm going to explain to you one more thing. So this is what actually creates that laser sharp beam pattern. And as you can see, this side is lower than this side. And that's because this is left-hand drive projector. And I'm going to explain to you why that is projecting on the wall. Here's how the bi-xenon projector works from low beam to high beam. And as you can see, the cutoff line, left side is lower than the right side. And this is to make sure the cutoff line doesn't go above the opposite side driver's eye level, so you don't blind them. And now I'm going to show you how to install LED projector for the high beam and HID projector for the low beam. And once you're done, it will look like this. And now taking the headlight housing off of your car, may be challenging. Some cars you have to take off the front bumper, but as for this car, E46 330xi, there's only 2 screws in the top right here, and then 1 in the side here, and then 1 in the bottom right here. So there's 4 screws total, and you can take out your entire headlight housing without taking the front bumper off. And as for other cars, the lenses are sealed with glue, but this particular headlight, there are just plastic clips that you can just pop off. So if you do have regular headlight housing with glue sealed, what you need to do is you have to bake it. So you have to preheat your oven 270 degrees. And you have to bake, quote unquote, bake your headlight for 7 minutes. And your glue will be loose so that you can take off your headlight lens. Alright, you've baked your housing and the glue is loose, or you just got plastic clips, and let's remove the housing lens. Just like that. And now I'm going to take this cover off. And then take the bulbs out. These halogen bulbs, peace. So here's how you install this universal LED high beam projector. So as you can see, there's threaded shaft in the back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the shaft through that hole. And in the back of the hole, I'm going to put a washer and lock it. So right now, I'm going to put the rubber washer first, just like that. And I'm going to put it through the hole. Turn it around. Put the washer in. And then the lock ring. This actually is reverse threaded, so it looks like I'm unscrewing it, but it's actually tightening it. And then you don't have to really tighten it that much. This projector actually, you can hand tighten it and it'll stay in place. Alright. And that's what it looks like. And you can kind of rotate it because there's actually a beam pattern which I will shoot on the wall later and then fix it before I put everything back together. But that's how easy it is for the high beam projector right there. It is the same exact concept for the low beam, but because this threaded shaft is too big, I would have to Dremel out this hole, which I will show you right now. And then same exact way, but there's another way you can do is using these mounting brackets right here, mounting bracket holes, and you can customize a sheet of metal, and then if you have a mounting place, you can mount using the holes as well. But let's go ahead and Dremel right now. Before dremeling and after dremeling. before, after. Alright, now we've got the hole dremeled out, and that'll fit this threaded shaft. I'm going to use my rubber washer. And one thing to not forget is your solenoid wire. So first, I'm going to put it in between here and then wire it through the back. But a lot of people, they do a small hole right here, just right underneath the actual hole, and then they fit the wire there as well. But for me, I'm going to just fit it in between here and then wire it towards the back. Put the second one, and then I'm going to put it on to the solenoid. And now we can put it into the wire through. And now we're going to put the lock ring, and I'm actually going to use the lock ring tool. This does not come with the kit, you have to purchase it separately. And it's so useful because I cannot get into the back like this. And you just want to hand tighten it for now, because you will have to adjust the beam pattern later. Okay. That should be good for now. And when you adjust the beam pattern later, you might have to adjust it left and right. So leave it a little bit loose. And then this is where you stop, and then you take this housing just as it is right now, install it back into your car or truck, and then adjust the beam pattern, because you have to move projector left and right like this to get the line straight and the height straight. Same thing with the high beam. And then only if you are installing the projectors and you're done, then you get a shroud, get some JB weld, you dab it around the edges, put it back onto the projector, let it dry for a little bit, and then you are done, and then you can put the lens housing back on. But right now, as I've said in the beginning, I've got halos and demon eyes, and I've also actually painted my shroud. As you can see, that's black. So I'm going to show you all of that, and I'm going to take this out right now and explain to you everything about halos and demon eyes. Right now you are looking at profile prism demon eye. This is RGB profile prism demon eye, so you can change the color using your controller or your phone through Bluetooth. And all it does, it sits on top of your projector lens, right behind the projector lens, and it changes the color of the projector lens. Now by default it's white, but you can change whatever color you want, and it does not enhance the performance of your nighttime driving experience. This is only for looks, and a lot of people do it right before car shows or just to show off, and I'm going to show you how to install it. Alright, here is everything you need for demon eye installation, and I'd like to talk about this bracket right here. This is the demon eye bracket, perfectly designed for D2S 4.0 and 5.0. As you can see, the holes line up perfectly. However, a lot of our customers ask us, can they actually use this bracket onto their OEM factory halogen projectors or HID or LED projectors? And we say yes and no, because obviously this is designed for 4.0 and 5.0, which are 3-inch lens housing. And we actually do have a smaller bracket for 2.5-inch lens housing, Mini H1 7.0. So depending on what size you have, we tell them you can modify this 3-inch lens housing bracket or 2.5-inch lens housing bracket. And you can drill holes wherever you like and install onto your factory OEM projectors. Alright, so right now I'm going to mount the demon eye first onto the bracket, and you will need this small little screw right here that goes through first, just like that, and then demon eye comes on top, and then the small nut, alright. put it on the reflector bowl. And we are going to put the screws on the top 2 holes here. And here we have, this is our original reflector that comes with the Demon Eye kit. So it sits right underneath and it traps all the light from the Demon Eye and then focuses it onto this reflector and then reflects right before the projector lens. But we've actually launched this new reflector called Multiply, Demon Eye Multiply, multiple EYE, and this actually makes the Demon Eye 4 times brighter than the standard reflector. And before you install it, it goes on top of the solenoid. I would like to stretch it out a little bit, and I like to set the bottom first and then bring the top up and then click it in, just like that. And the whole concept of this Multiply is to have Demon Eye light shine directly underneath and then reflect it right on the back of the projector lens, making it 4 times brighter than the standard reflector. And to connect your Demon Eye, you will need your Demon Eye driver. And this is one of our controller called XBT. And you can download an app to your iPhone or Android, and you can connect your phone to this controller through Bluetooth. And to draw power, you will need 12 volt from your fuse box. And this is a JST 4-pin plug. And with this controller, you can connect up to 6 halos or Demon Eyes or LED strips, and you can control them in 3 pairs, so different color for 3 pairs. And when you're doing a retrofit, you can either have your lens designed like this. We will sandblast the back of the lens, and you can have whatever design you want, and you can fit it into your projector. As you can see, you can take these screws out. There's 3 on each side, there's 6 of them total, and you can take out the stock lens and then replace it with your designed lens. And as I've mentioned earlier, here is where the edge of the lens really shine. Just look at these designs. And this video verifies what I was saying earlier, that Demon Eyes do not enhance the performance of the nighttime driving experience. And I'm actually going to fire up the low beam just to see what happens while the Demon Eyes are on. So here's what it looks like when the HID is on and the Demon Eye is on, and it looks like there's a little bit of red here, and you can see a little bit of red on the ground, but nothing for the light output. Alright, now I'm going to put aside my projector with the Demon Eye, and I have to put the wire through here. But before I do, I'm going to install my halo. And what I'm going to do is there are tiny holes right here. There's one hole here, and then one hole at the bottom. Now I'm going to use this halo insulation wire and drill some holes. So one hole at the top here, one hole here. And I'm actually going to put a wire through this one right here, around it for the bottom hole right here. So let's start drilling first, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. Alright, I'm going to drill the holes for the halo light, and one is going to be right here. Right there, and then one right on the top right here. If I can get a good angle on it. This I can't. Let me clean it up real quick. Okay, we've got the holes drilled for the halo, and now I'm going to run this metal wire here, halo installation wire. I'm going to run it through here. Just like that. I'm going to leave that there for the bottom side. I'm going to run this demon eye wire through. Just like that. And then I've got my solenoid wire here. Reconnect that in the back. Put the projector through. I actually have to bend this a little bit like that. Okay. To tighten it. Just like that. I'm going to run the halo wire first. Okay, so the top hole right here, I'm going to put the wire through. Bring it around and put it through this hole. hold it like that. And then this wire right here, it's gonna be tricky. Okay. Put it through this hole. Just gotta push this out. Okay. I gotta mount the shroud in place so it doesn't move around. Okay. So I'm going to cut. Got our low beam, high beam, wow. And then fog lights.